Has the early criticism of Bronny's game been fair or unfair?
Totally unfair. I think that people are looking at him as if he is a top 10 pick. He is not a top 10 pick. He is a number 55 pick. The expectations for a number 55 pick should be that you are largely headed to the G League and may get some games up in the NBA. Last year's number 55 pick played 4 total minutes in the NBA. He didn't average 4 minutes a game in the NBA, 4 total minutes, and those came in one game. So to evaluate Bronny next to top 10 picks versus what other guys at number 55 has done is totally unfair. And obviously it's going to happen. We're all watching him more because of who he is and the fact that he's playing on the Lakers. Don't forget that, too, in addition to being LeBron's son. But he is not playing at a level that's so much below where other players who have been in his position have played in the past. In fact, Alex Sarr, who was the number 2 pick overall, just had a bomber of a game, right? 0 points, 0 for 15 from the floor,
15 in a
right?
game.
0 for 7 from the three-point line. And that's a number 2 pick overall. Bronny James is a number 55 pick. J.J. Redick has come out and said he is a developmental player. We all knew this going in. So to sit there and criticize him for Summer League numbers that, as I have said several times, stats do not matter in Summer League. We have seen guys have bad Summer Leagues and go on to have good NBA careers. What Bronny needs to get used to in Summer League is the speed of the game. He needs to get used to new coaches and teammates and new schemes. And he has to get used to the attention he's getting. Because that is one of the other things I saw sitting courtside at that game on Monday night between the Celtics and the Lakers. Every time he touched the ball, the crowd perked up.
Sure.
And when he finally scored in the fourth quarter, there was just this wave, right? And we've seen in some of his other games that fans actually criticizing the coach from the stands saying, give Bronny the ball, give Bronny the ball. No one wants that as a player. As a player, you don't want people, well, you just give me the damn ball. But no.
What, Rachel?
No. But Key,
No, I understand
hear
what
me
you're
out.
saying.
As a player, if you're not delivering, you don't want people in the stands trying to make it okay for you.
Yeah.
You want to earn it, right? You earned that damn ball, right?
No,
Bronny has to earn the damn ball, and he knows that he hasn't yet, which is fine. Again, this is who he is at this point. So he's had to deal with a ton of media. He didn't do media after the game on Monday night, which, again, is okay. He's not required to. But you get the impression that it's been a lot. So I think for him, the key is getting used to all of that, and the stats, to me, will follow for a number 55 overall pick.
You know, that part, the last thing you said, getting used to it, I don't worry about that because he's been Bronny James, LeBron James' son, since he was born. As he's grown from little Bronny to high school Bronny to commercials and NIL deals and you name it, he's been, you know what I'm saying? So he's well equipped to handle that part of it. That's why I don't think that the attention from the crowd, the noise, is even going to bother him. Hell, he was playing a video game that he won the other night after he had either before, I don't know when he was playing it, but after he hadn't played well in a game. It is unfair because all he really wants to do, as I said yesterday, is play basketball. He just wants to play basketball and be good at it. But part of the problem is there's different layers to this Bronny James thing. Part of the problem is there's so many people out there that are trying to be misleading about what he's doing on the court. You know, whether it's memes or writing little, blogs and saying they want to tell you about his minutes, his points. Well, like I told Skip and them yesterday, when have we seen a graphic talking about minutes? So when you look at it, the first thing he says, oh, he scored 24. But and so all of that sort of stuff is bad behavior to me. And what I mean by that is they're going after the dad. It's all about LeBron. It's all about what LeBron said a year ago about, oh, my son could better than half these dudes in the league. It's all those sort of things, and the only way you could affect LeBron is by attacking his son. We all know he's not 6'9" or 6'8", 265 pounds and a freight train like his dad. We understand that. No, there's very few professional athletes that will surpass their fathers' accolades or even come close to them when they're superstars. Very few.
That is true.
I mean, if any at all, because Ken Griffey Jr.
That's my example.
But his dad was really good.
Really good.
but he wasn't Ken Griffey. So Ken Griffey could leapfrog over that with no problem.
Bobby Bonds was really good.
Bobby Bonds was really good, but he wasn't Barry Bonds. So when you start...
Brett Hull, Bobby Hull.
I wasn't... you could talk about that a little bit more than me on the NHL front, but I understand, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
and so,
you're right.
because you can't get rid of the last name, he's going to constantly be under criticism. I know he's going to be in the G League, but he's also going to be in the NBA. Yeah. And he's going to have some games where he's going to play and get a few minutes here and there in the NBA because that's how you develop a guy. You bring him up, you let him get some minutes up there, you take him down, they get 4 minutes in the G League, and eventually, Skip, if he's good enough, he'll stick. That's the bottom line. If he's good enough, he'll stick. The only thing that I say is time to start showing the eyeballs some NBA stuff, though. I understand the summer league, but people want to see something. Because other guys that are drafted, whether it's the #1 pick or the last pick in the draft, they still showing you some NBA stuff. And that's what people want to see. They want to be able to go, oh, okay, I can see how that would work in the NBA, opposed to some of the mishaps that he's had here recently, stepping out of bounds twice, air ball, three-pointers. They, you know, especially when they're trying to sell you him as a 3-and-D guy. Now he becomes under criticism heavy because he hadn't hit a three. He's 0 for 15. If he was 4 for 15, people would be like, okay, cool. But when you 0 for 15 and they're telling you he's a 3-and-D guy, he's going. That's the sort of stuff that I'm talking about. Bad messaging by the Lakers when they did that. They shouldn't have did that.
Okay, quick point of order on Alex Sarr, because you point out last night he had a nightmare. In one single game, he went 0 for 15. It's just hard to do when you're as tall as he is. But he did. And I'm sure he'll figure it out. But the difference between him and Bronny is I watched Sarr against Reece Sachet the other night because I wanted to see the fellow countrymen go against each other, one versus two. And Alex Sarr showed me some NBA stuff because he was 12-7, 4 assists, and 4 blocks. And I'm like, okay, and he made 2 out of 5 threes stepping out there.
And he looked good moving around.
7 feet tall. You just look, and it's just eye testing. You're like, oh, okay. So he had a nightmare night, but is he going to be a bust? I don't think he'll be a bust.
I don't think so.
Okay. Now back to Bronny. I keep telling you, and I've shown you, I love this kid, and I'm rooting for him just to start to take hold and show us a little of this and a little of that, where we can just say, yeah, come on, be patient, it's coming. You know, again, I'm all for the G League. I'm not sure his dad's going to be all for the G League, but we'll see about that. And he may not have any choice at this point. But here is the point. Speaking of his father has the highest IQ in basketball, and you can argue he has the highest IQ in the history of basketball, although Magic might have a case against him, and Larry Bird might be up there, and we could go on and on about some other players. But LeBron's up there, maybe at the top of that list. So you can dismiss this as proud papa talk, but the point was on last March the 6th, just this past year on March the 6th, past season, one afternoon, LeBron tweeted this. I'm going to read it to you. Man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today, watching games around the NBA. And then he said, SH, you know, the rest of that word, SH, lightweight, hilarious. So he's dismissing a lot of these cats he's watching, and I get it, because you say, how's he even in the league? He's getting to play. He's playing 10 minutes for Detroit or whoever it is. And Dad is saying, my son is already better than him and him and him and him. And listen, when he speaks like that, I'm buying it, because he should know, unless you want to dismiss it as proud papa talk where he just lost all of it.
I would never dismiss it as proud papa talk. What I would say is, I know, okay. In football, I'm going to try to explain it as best I can. In football, I can look at a guy and I can tell whether or not he belongs, and he's just good enough I can put him in a position to make plays and do certain things. Where other people can't figure out what to do with him.
I understand.
LeBron James can look at his son and say, he's better than these other guys, because if he's with me, and that's why I keep saying I want to see him with the A-list guys, because he'll know what to do with them. He'll know that, okay, you got to pick over here, slide over there. He knows all of that sort of stuff, and he'll teach him those things. That's why the McDonald's basketball we talking about in the summer league, I don't want to say that's basketball and pickup league.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I want to see constructive. I want to see it all together with Anthony Davis and LeBron James and Austin Reeves and Rui. I want to see him with those guys because they'll know to put him in the right spots to do right things. However, can't be 0 for 15, though.
No.
Can't be 0 for 15.
What's the word we use most often when talking about the NBA or NFL draft? Potential, right? We talk about potential. This guy has the potential to be that. This guy has the potential to be this. Nobody knows a kid's potential more than their proud sports parent, right? They have seen them in their best moments. They know what they excel at. They know what they're good at. So it does not surprise me that LeBron James, I don't think it's just, oh man, he's blinded by being his dad.
No, he's not
I think
blinded.
that any parent of an elite athlete knows what their potential is, what that high ceiling might be that they could get to, and feels like, oh, I'm not seeing guys with as high a potential as I think my son has. Living up to that potential is an entirely different thing. It is what makes any draft, especially the NBA draft, a crapshoot. And so is Bronny going to live up to the potential that LeBron clearly sees in him? We'll have to see. He's still a number 55 pick. He is absolutely going to play in the G League for at least part of this season. J.J. Redick has already said that as well. We'll just have to see how he develops. I'm less worried about his shot only because shots can be improved and worked on.
Agreed.
Not only have we seen it with LeBron, go all the way back to Jason Kidd. Right?
Yeah.
They used to talk about Jason Kidd being Acing Kidd because he has no J. And then,
I think I coined that.
well, there you go.
I did.
Okay. I didn't even realize I was
course
sitting
it would be
next
you,
to.
Skip.
Yeah.
Right? Well, okay. I am sitting next to
And
the
it
master.
worked.
I should know.
It was true.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, but
And he
right.
figured it out.
He figured it out.
But
By the
so
end
did
of his
Magic.
by the
Magic
end of
figured
his
it out.
career, that was one of his specialties.
Absolutely.
So, and we've seen LeBron go up in the
Yeah.
shooting ranks over and over. So, I'm not saying Bronny's going to do the same thing. He's not necessarily Hall of Famers like Jason Kidd or LeBron James. However, I do think if you're looking for him to be a 3-and-D guy, the potential is at least there. The D, though, that's the thing that they want to see. And I'm curious about your eye test and your eye test when you've seen LeBron in these, or Bronny in these games, is does he have that defensive
Gotta get better.
spark?
He's gotta
Does
get
he
better.
have that point
He's
of
got-
attack?
he's gotta get
J.J.
better.
Redick said that he's been talking to Bronny just the other night about
did.
point of attack defense.
Yep.
That is what they need from him. That is what they want him to develop first. And that's where I have seen NBA skills already, is that he is definitely a willing defender
Yeah.
and that he is aggressive.
He is a willing participant. There's no question about it. But he's got to get better, Rachel.
Of course.
He's just
Yes,
got to get
he's the
better at it.
number
Guys
55
are going
pick.
by him and at times, things of that nature. He's not standing in front of guys the way they would like, but it's still early.
Mm-hmm.
And when he gets with the big boys, they could teach him. They could teach him. And if he learns from there, then I'm sure that the noise will quiet down. And I understand what you're saying. You're not worried about a shot because you can fix it. That's true. You may be able to fix it, a shot with somebody. But when you 0 from 15 and you're shooting 23% from the field, that's a problem to these critics that criticize him.
Well, I think it's a problem to you.
I want him to,
think,
because
yeah,
I want him to
know.
hit the damn shots.
Right.
Because
That's it.
you know how I am.
Thank
I don't
you.
want to hear people talking negative.
Yes.
I want
I
him to
understand.
It would be nice
hit the shots.
If it would be nice if he was a sharpshooter marksman already. It would be nice if he was a top 10 quality pick already because it would change the way we talk about him. I think a lot of people would like him to succeed. You talk about all the people who want him to fail because he's LeBron's son. You are absolutely right. But there is a large chunk of people, not just Laker Nation, that want to see this kid succeed. He's a good kid. He
that's true.
plays hard.
All
he has
that's
grown
true.
up in an uncomfortably hot spotlight, and he is a good teammate by all accounts.
But unfortunately, the world that we live in, the only thing we hear is about the negative.
I get it.
We
I'm
don't
just
hear
saying.
those people who want him to succeed. We don't hear them. All we hear is about, oh, God, he just shot another bad ball. Oh, why is he? That's all we hear.
The question is it unfair or fair? And it is unfair,
It's unfair.
to me.
Absolutely.
Because you are holding him against a standard that he's not a top 10 pick.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And whether he's a top 10 pick or not, the fact that that's that man's son and everybody act like he's supposed to be a duplicate of his daddy, and it's not true.
No, well, that's
It's just not going to
I'm
happen.
not sure anybody thinks that. But
You think that people don't think that because of his last name, he's supposed to be so far ahead than where he's at.
But nobody thinks he's going to be LeBron James or better than LeBron James.
No, not
I don't think
only-
even the harshest, most unfair.
You know,
critic
well, then
would
they
think
would be, if they do, then they stupid.
Do we
Well,
think
that would
he's
just
gonna
be stupid.
grow at all anymore? I mean, he's 6'1.5". I mean, I stopped growing when I was like 7 years old. I'm very short.
He might get
but
6'2" and some change. I mean, he's only 19 years old. He can still squeeze
Maybe
out a
it's
little bit.
close.
I do think that will be a factor, though. You need to, getting a little taller would help.
Okay. So,
It would.
so Keyshawn, yesterday I tried to differentiate my view of Bronny. It's not criticism. It's just the creeping doubt. You know, like I'm not nitpicking. I'm not saying, oh, you stepped out of bounds. What's wrong with you, kid? That's not, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if he airballs the ball from the corner 3. I don't care. I'm pretty sure he'll figure that out because in the McDonald's All-Star game, when he was called upon in the fourth quarter, he made 2 or 3 big threes where I said, that kid can shoot it. And I believe, alongside his father and Rui and Austin Reeves and all, I believe he'll make those shots. I believe with all my heart and soul, and I've said it and I'll stand by it. He'll be better with better players.
Absolutely.
But right now, I'm watching these games like this. You know, like I'm
well,
cringing.
That's what I'm saying. You want to see some NBA stuff.
Flash.
You want to see a
give me
flash here and there.
Give me a flash here or there.
Look for it on the defensive end. You'll see. You'll at least see glimmers there.
All right. I'll be watching with one eye closed, but
Tonight?
I'll be watching. Yeah, tonight. Okay. Last night, Angel Reed